talking to you all afternoon. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is fouled back by Ian Kinsler.
Edwin Jackson with 13 strikeouts over his last 14 innings. Got the win in that 14-1 win over Oakland. 7 innings pitched in that game.
And what was really amazing in that start is the fact that he pitched 4 innings. We had an hour and 13-minute rain delay. And most guys won't come back after that hour mark, but Jackson was even stronger than he was early in the game. The 1-1 lifted in the air. Foul ground. Sardina discards the mask and 1 away.
That is a high sky. That's a little tougher than Dane made it look.
Dane, of course, has been out with a bad finger, and he is getting the start here today for Gerald Laird in the day game following the night game.
I can tell you that the tweets and Facebook posts are already flooding in.
Are they rolling in?
Oh, absolutely.
John Keating manning our computer here up in the booth. David Murphy with 1 out.
I'll throw this one at you right away. Anita wants to ask, what's the weirdest weather in which you broadcast a baseball game?
The weirdest weather? I would probably have to go back to the minor leagues. I actually did a game in the snow. There's a drive way back into right field. This one has a chance to go, and it does. It's gone. Murphy, who has good power, hit 15 homers last year, has been in a season beginning slump, has just hit his second. And so the Rangers draw first blood here this afternoon. And a 1-0 lead for Texas. Edwin Jackson not afraid to challenge on the inside part of the plate, and Murphy dropped the bat head, and there she goes. His 9th RBI of the season, 355 feet on that home run. He'll bring up Michael Young with 1 out and a run in for Texas. Well, today it is 79 degrees, but I remember doing a couple of minor league games, one in Appleton, Wisconsin, in which it was about 32 at game time and snowing.
And they don't cancel those minor league games.
Oh,
you got to play.
No, you play. And as a matter of fact, it was pretty easy to win the Guess the Attendance contest that day because there were a handful of people in the crowd.
Do you remember a day in Kansas City just a couple of years ago where we had to actually close the booth because the sky looked absolutely green?
Yeah, it was ugly. That's rolled to the shortstop Everett. And there are 2 gone as Young is out 6-3.
I felt like I was in a bunker that day. We actually had to close a metal sort of a garage door to keep the weather out. And hearing my voice one time is bad enough. Hearing it echo back again is not good at all.
Well, it's never good when it's raining sideways.
Indeed.
That's what it was doing that day. This is Hank Blaylock with 2 outs. But I think most players will tell you really the weather they hate to play in is that cold weather, both pitchers and hitters. Pitchers can't really get a feel for the breaking ball. Hitters certainly don't want to hit against a guy that can really throw hard in cold weather. 2-0 on Blaylock.
Doesn't get any better than this day.
Nope. 79 right now. Gorgeous day. Jackson missing outside. He rolls to 3-0. Clear skies. Jackson's 3-0. There's a strike. 3-1 on Hammer and Hank. Blaylock had some injury problems last year. In fact, in the past couple of years, he's been hounded. Played only 65 games last year because of a bad wrist, and he rips this one foul. 3-2 now on Blaylock. Jackson did not walk a single batter in his last start, and that was one of the keys to his 7 strong innings and the victory over the Athletics. He's won his last 2. And a bouncing ball to short. Adam Everett had him played perfectly. Blaylock is out, and so are the Rangers. They get a run of the Murphy home run. We head to the bottom of the first. 1-0 Texas. Tigers starting 9 here today. It features Curtis Granderson in the leadoff slot playing center field. Placido Polanco batting second at second base. Clee Thomas back in the 3-hole today. Miguel Cabrera cleaning up. Jeff Larish gets the start at first. Brandon Inge is at third. And your bottom 3 is Anderson, Everett, and Sardina. Tigers have a 10-game win streak at home against Texas. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Kevin Millwood. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you. For Mr. Millwood, Polanco certainly packs a punch, hitting .550 career against him. He definitely keeps the defense busy. He's given up 53 hits in 58 1/3 innings this year, and it's been very good in the afternoon. 2-day starts, 1-0 with a .069 earned run average.
And kept the Tigers scoreless when he faced them on April 12th. Almost 7 innings.
That is fouled away by Curtis Granderson. That was on Easter Sunday here.
It was Jackson against Millwood on that particular day.
Tigers swept that series, and they are looking to do the same here today with a victory. Curtis at .256 with 10 home runs this year. And Grandy has 18 career leadoff home runs. A couple of hits in this series for Granderson. Drives this one in the air to center field. Late jump by Bird, still coming hard, and he'll make the running catch.
All right, a reminder that we are taking your Facebook posts and your Twitter follows here as we celebrate social networking and we reach out to the fans. Mario from Peck, Michigan. Joanna Holiday Cannell apparently is not paying complete attention in her 4th-hour Spanish class. She asks a question in Spanish, so I guess she's looking for some credit from that, and I will translate since she did. Is Maglio going to hit a home run today? Well, Maglio is not yet back with the team, and the guess is that he will be back tomorrow as the Tigers open the series against the Colorado Rockies.
Yes, Joanna. Now back to the books.
Absolutely. Mario's good, but stop paying attention to him and start paying attention to your teacher.
Absolutely. Polanco flares one foul down the right field line.
Although the guess is that she's probably not watching us. She's just doing this online.
Absolutely, which we hope many will today as they become part of our first interactive broadcast this year. Maglio hopeful of being back tomorrow. Should be back in the lineup for the Tigers. And Jim Leland touched on that today. He has given his young guys an opportunity to play with Maglio out and Guillen out, and they have certainly given this team some energy. But they are also big-time hitters that the Tigers can't wait to get back in their lineup.
What a great story Wilkin Ramirez was last night. We got a chance to sit him down and chat before the game, and that was part of our Tigers Live pregame show. And I asked him what his expectations were, and I don't know. I don't know what to expect. And he struck out his first 2 at-bats and then just launched a mammoth home run, a shrub job here at Comerica last night.
3-1 to Polanco is on the ground to second base. Nice backhanded play by Kinsler. 2 gone.
And keep this in mind, you can be a part of our telecast. You hear us talking about some of the questions that have been posed by people like Joanna in her Spanish class. Just log on to Facebook.com or Twitter.com, sign up or sign in. And once there, search for Fox Sports Detroit. Post your questions. Mario and I will have a crack at them. Mickey York is downstairs at the Fox Sports Detroit Brushfire Grill. He'll, I guess, solicit some questions for some folks in attendance here at the ball game, and all part of our process of reaching out to you, the fans, in this great baseball town.
Here is Clee Thomas now with 2 outs. Thomas hitting an even .300 for the Tigers this year, and he slaps the first pitch in the air to center field and hits it well. Bird still going back on this one. He looks up, and it's gone into the shrubs. Just about the same spot that Ramirez hit his last night, but for Thomas, this is opposite field.
Uno mas.
That is some big-time power. Thomas hits his first. We knew he could hit with power to right field. But when you go over 400 to left center, and here's what Ramirez did last night. Just about the same area.
The shrubs are screaming enough.
Groundskeeper is going to have to do some work out with the shrubs out there.
Now this is where someone says, go on with your bad self, Clee.
All right, no Rod isms today. You cannot duplicate.
We wish Rod all the best. His daughter Rachel's graduating from high school in Arizona. He's left us for a couple of days.
Cabrera hits a slow grounder back to the mound. Millwood will handle this one, but the Tigers are able to tie it up. Each team with a solo shot. Cleat goes deep, and it's 1-1. Fire Grill, where Mickey York is standing by with a question. Mick.
Yeah, Mario, we are neither Facebooking or tweeting. We're doing this the old-fashioned way, a little face-to-face communication with Case and Alex from Northville. Case has the IFB, Mario. He's going to be asking the question. Case, go ahead.
We were just wondering who your favorite Tiger is of all time and why.
Well, that's a good question, Case. Growing up here, I think that in Detroit, one of my favorites certainly was Jack Morris. I love the way he played the game, but if I had to pick one guy from the 80s, which is really when I really started following the Tigers a lot, I'd have to go with Alan Trammell. What about you, Keith?
Jim Price.
Jim Price, really?
Sort of embracing the broadcasting community up here.
Jim Price, everybody's favorite, guys. Case, Alex, a great job. And by the way, folks that come by and see us here at the Fox Sports Detroit Brush Fire Grill will also get their picture taken. We'll post that on Facebook. That's right. So there's proof, visual proof that they were on the broadcast today.
Case and Alex officially stars here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Welcome,
thanks, guys.
Yeah, welcome.
Appreciate it, fellas.
One out. Here is Nelson Cruz. Yeah, there's so many Tigers.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go back to the 70s, I love to watch Norm Cash play as well.
I go back a little before that even, and you know, when I was a kid, I mean, Denny McClain was my guy, and I've told him that. And Mickey Lolich is we still see from time to time, and one of the classiest folks around. And Al Kaline, you know, regularly stops by the Tigers clubhouse. Doesn't get any better than Mr. Tiger, Al Kaline.
Willie Horton is also around the ballpark on a daily basis. So many to choose from.
All those folks out in stainless steel, they have earned their stripes quite literally in this town and in this franchise's history.
1-2 on Nelson Cruz. Jackson gave up the home run to Murphy back in the first. Tigers responded.
So Trammell Morris from '84. Gibby was certainly not warm and fuzzy, but Gibby was certainly a guy that everybody loved watching play.
Yeah, played hard.
The big wheel, Lance Parrish.
I love the way Norm Cash played the game. Smile on his face all the time, was freewheeling, and Aurelio Rodriguez.
And as I understand it,
it's back up the middle. It'll get through a base hit.
Norm Cash's bats were not always entirely made of wood. He sort of admitted that after he was done playing.
Well, he's not the only one I would venture to guess.
And with the Texas Rangers in town, I think there was an occasion that Norm Cash actually walked up to the plate carrying a table leg.
Yep.
Because Nolan Ryan was no hitting the Tigers, or certainly close to it. And Cash figured he had no chance with a bat. He might as well bring a table leg up there. Everybody had a chuckle about that.
Here is Chris Davis with one out. One of the things I remember about Norm Cash was he actually had his own television show while he played here in Detroit. I used to watch it. Had his own theme song and everything.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I
really?
do not remember that.
The words to the theme song went something like,
here we go.
I'm a swinger and I'll swing, swing, swing. I'm a singer. And he started singing. It was bad. There goes the runner. And the tag not in time. Pretty good throw there by Sardina, but a good jump for Nelson Cruz, his 5th stolen base. 2 balls, no strikes on Davis.
All of the guys who were on that 68 team talked of the sense of community that team had. It was a very special group of folks. Come so close to winning it all in 67 and then did so in 68.
Davis with 21 RBIs this year. He's prone to striking out, as we have documented on the first 2 telecasts. In fact, he leads the major leagues in strikeouts, and now Jackson has fallen behind him 3-0.
Well, Mario, Phil Batway wants to know who was your favorite Tiger from the 90s.
Ooh, that's a really good question. I'd have to think on that a little bit.
Felipe Lira, Jose Lima.
I'd have to think on that a little bit. I'm probably going to go with Damian Easley because I had a little bit of a background with Damian in his Angels days.
He's a good man.
So Davis gets the walk, and that'll bring Rick Knapp out.
Jose Lima was one of the great characters in baseball history. You couldn't help but like him. We loved it. He had a couple of stints here with the Tigers.
He did?
Yeah.
Of course, we can't forget about Big Daddy either, Cecil Fielder.
Yeah, sure. Or present day Bobby Higginson, sort of coming up in the beginning of the 90s. Todd Jones was here the latter stages of the 90s with Doug Brocail.
Well, we remind you to be at Comerica Park Sunday for the 105 game against the Colorado Rockies. Another Every Kid Every Sunday giveaway with all kids 14 and under receiving a pair of Paws wristbands. For tickets, phone 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Sundays are always tremendous days to bring out the kids to the ballpark, run the bases. Saltalamacchia, the batter now with 2 on. Jackson trying to pitch out of an early jam here in a 1-1 game.
Mario, we got a post from Julie who wants to know if you found out whether Marlon Byrd, big deep breath here, tweets.
No, I never did. You know, I almost walked in to the Texas locker room yesterday and asked him, but I did not.
Well, who doesn't tweet anymore?
Well, that's
really
true. That's true.
We hope that everybody watching at home is part of the process. Tweet away at us. We'll field them. We're making the fair catches here in the broadcast booth, and we'll single some of them out and share them with the folks watching at home as the Tigers go for the sweep here this afternoon.
2-0 on Saltalamacchia. And another ball outside, 3-0. And Jackson uncharacteristically has gone 2 of 8 on first pitch strikes in this game. We mentioned that Edwin did not walk anybody in his last start in that victory over Oakland. In fact, his last 2 starts combined just 1 base on balls. Saltalamacchia takes ball 4, and that's going to load him up. Back-to-back walks. So now the shortstop, Elvis Andrus.
Mario, I'm told that since we started the broadcast, since this game began, we've added 300 new members to the Fox Sports Detroit Facebook page. So that is the reach of Mario Impemba right there.
It's the reach of Facebook and Tigers baseball.
Yeah, indeed.
Here is Andrus.
Well, everybody join hands here with the bases loaded full of Rangers and see if Edwin Jackson can work his way out of this. Looking for a ground ball here in a double play.
Jackson now has thrown 9 straight out of the strike zone, 1-0. Tigers infield right now bunching a little bit at the corners. Double play depth up the middle. Ground ball could still get Jackson out of this inning.
This will be his 30th pitch, and he's 4 outs into his start here.
The 1-0 to Andrus. There's a strike, 1-1. Elvis 1 for 7 in the series. He has a triple. That is it. And he's up in a huge spot early on in this one with Cruz, Davis, and Saltalamacchia. on the bases.
They like this kid a lot in Texas.
Inside 2-1. They say the most impressive thing about Elvis Andrus, and he's still very young, 20 years of age, is his makeup, and that a lot like Rick Porcello, that type of makeup allows him to play at this level at that age. He is out of Maracay, Venezuela.
Well, you know he's something special if they move Michael Young to a different position just to create a spot for Elvis.
The 2-1. 2-2. Yeah, in fact, Young won a Gold Glove and they moved him to third base.
Didn't quite embrace the idea of having to change positions again, because when he was first a Ranger, he was a second baseman, then moved to shortstop, and now to third.
Yeah, for a guy that gets 200 hits every season, they've asked him to bounce around. 2-2 on Andrus. Flared foul back out of play. It's a nice gathering here today. Afternoon baseball here in the Motor City. You can tell it's going to be a good crowd when you get to the upper reaches of the upper deck, and you see a lot of folks up there.
Sunscreen, everybody.
And plenty of water.
Well, I think some of them are hydrated just fine.
I would tend to agree with that. The 2-2 pitch is in the air to right field. Clete Thomas in his tracks will measure up the throw. Here it comes to the plate, the tag, and he is out. Oh, what a game Thomas has had already. He fires a clothesline to Sardina, and they double up Cruz. Wow, what a play by Clete. You're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Your Motor City Dodge dealers. And by Arby's Bacon Cheddar Roast Burger Sandwich. Try it today. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. Back here at Comerica Park, how about Clete Thomas? He's already homered in this game, better than 430 feet. And he makes an outstanding throw to the plate to double up Nelson Cruz, who was trying to tag up from third base on an absolute laser. And that proves right there that the surgery he had on his elbow doesn't matter. Look at him line it up. And right to Sardina, who made a nice tag on the sliding Cruz.
We continue to celebrate our embrace of social networking. Facebook.com, Twitter.com. Mario, high praise indeed here. Daniel's here. Vicky asks, where's Rod Allen? Mario without Rod is like Laverne without Shirley.
Which one of us is Laverne?
I think Laverne is in Arizona.
So I'm Shirley.
His daughter's graduation. You are Shirley.
So that is where Rod is today. We wish him the best and look forward to his return. Jeff Larish has just popped out to the first baseman Davis. One gone. It's always special when you have a child graduate. That's on my horizon, but certainly Keats has been on your horizon as well. Actually, it's in the past now.
Yeah, last weekend, young Patrick Keating graduated from Notre Dame. We're proud of him.
Impressive. Notre Dame's a pretty good school.
It is indeed. I'm not sure how many Wolverines and Spartans feel that way, but
I'm talking academics.
Academics, sure.
Here's Brandon Inge. Inge homered in the ballgame last night, a 2-run shot, and Brandon now with 11 home runs, which equals his total of all of last year. Here's a drive in the air to center. Bird on the move again, makes a nice running catch in the gap.
It's a couple of nice catches from Marlon Bird. One of the questions here so far is Megan, who asks, what's up with Andy Van Slyke's shoes?
Well, why don't we take a look at his shoes? What do we have? Now, how would she notice that?
I'm not sure.
They're different. You know, these guys each have their individual style, and you can walk in the Tigers clubhouse and see, I don't know, 10 different styles of shoes. Cabrera's got his own style. Dontrell has his own style.
Now, most of the coaches certainly don't wear cleats or even rubber cleats, but Andy's got the moon boots working over there.
I remember those. Unfortunately.
I think
dragging those to school and being made fun of.
What we are proving today is that you got a couple of fossils in the broadcast booth here this afternoon.
Here's Josh Anderson with 2 outs, and he strokes one on one wicket, hop to the shortstop Andrus, and that is going to be a quick inning for Kevin Millwood. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. 2 in the books. Tigers 1, Texas 1.
Mario, Eric Gibbs is asking why baseball players spit so much.
I have no idea. Why do you think?
Because they can, I guess. Out in
That's a great question.
God's green earth here.
Yeah.
Guys doing what guys do.
Well, you know, when players used to chew tobacco a lot, and of course they've gotten away from that. A lot more players chew gum, and that's a good thing. I think that was probably part of it, the tobacco angle. That's popped up, foul ground. Larish drifting. 1 away. That would be my assumption, but you're right. I mean, a lot of players do it, not just baseball players. I don't know. It's habit, I suppose.
I think you're right. Keen observer of all of humanity is Mario Ortega.
Ultra keen. Here's David Murphy.
Baseball has actually taken steps to outlaw chewing tobacco in clubhouses,
Which I think is a good thing. Joe Garagiola, I think, has been spearheading that effort.
We had him on a pregame show probably, 7, 8 years ago, talking about that.
Two and 0 on Murphy. Murphy homered back in the first, just his second of the year. And they are waiting for his bat to come alive. He came into this series batting 200. Or this game, I should say, as he cuts and misses. 2-1. Jackson gave up the home run in the first. He walked a couple of batters. They had him loaded in the second, but he got that double play on the throw out at home plate by Clete Thomas. Looked like he held up. Did he? He sure did. The appeal. 3-1.
Murphy wearing the number 7 that Dean Palmer wore as a member of the Texas Rangers, I believe.
There's a strike.
Pudge as well, right?
Yeah, that's true. You know if Dean's still living in the Detroit area?
I do not know.
He used to live in Birmingham.
Yeah, he was one of our favorite folks.
Nice guy. Good player. 3-2 pitch rolled back up the middle, right by Jackson into center. So Murphy now is 2 for 2.
All right, one of the burning questions, Mario, is whether you prefer crunchy or creamy peanut butter. This is what's on the mind of Tiger fans as they enjoy our telecast.
This is an easy one because we have a battle in our house every time we go to the grocery store. It's got to be creamy, but the rest of the family likes crunchy. So we have to buy one of each.
I will offer some insight. We have a couple of older dogs who need pills.
I don't like where this is going.
Well, we found out that they need the creamy because, you know, the pills would go okay in the creamy, and they would just assume that it was crunchy. So there's a lot of thought that goes into this stuff.
I think we're kind of veering off the road here.
Indeed.
Michael Young, the batter.
But I feel you with the getting one of each in a household. Yeah. Keep everybody happy.
That's the name of the game. Murphy, the runner at first base. 0-1 on Michael Young. Good pitch. 0-2.
Kevin Arnett asking, is Nate Robertson active and available today?
Good question, Kevin. The answer is yes. He is indeed.
That decision made after last night's tilt. Luke French going back to Toledo. Nate had a little bit of what you've had, a little bit of back pain, and it cleared up rather quickly.
Yeah, he was a little bit concerned because they didn't really know the source of the back pain. It turned out to be a strain and nothing more serious than that. It did not involve discs or any fractures or anything. So Nate had his medication work very quickly, and he is back in the bullpen. And Luke French, who really did a nice job. Leland talked about him before the game today. Very impressed with his demeanor. Got his first big league opportunity. He goes back down. Young cuts and misses, and down he goes. Jackson has a strikeout. That's his first. 2 gone.
Paul Corey Osmond was asking how far was the Clete Thomas homer. 435 feet, we are being told, which is 2 feet longer into those shrubs than Wilkin Ramirez's shot from last night's game.
Not to take away the home run that Ramirez hit, but he pulled that ball, and for a guy to go the other way that distance is really impressive. There's a bouncing ball hit to the right side. Polanco. Larish will get back in time, and the side retire. They get a hit, leave a man. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-1.
Post we've had on Facebook is from Mark Cobb, who's watching us guys right now in Iraq on Armed Forces Network, and asks, what does Peavy going to the White Sox do for the division and for the Tigers?
Well, that's a great question, Mark. First of all, thanks for your service and thanks for watching us today. It's not official yet, from what I understand. Peavy has a no trade in his contract, so they are waiting approval. But if indeed he does go to the White Sox, certainly that makes them a whole lot better, because I don't believe the parameters of the trade would include any frontliners on the current big league roster for the White Sox.
Jake Peavy, the ace of the Padres staff, and at least the rumor deal has 4 prospects going back to the San Diego Padres.
Danks and Floyd have not really pitched all that well this year, or as well as they did last year for the White Sox. So Jake Peavy's an awesome pitcher, but in the past, National League pitchers coming to the American League have typically had a period of time where they needed to adjust.
I want to get Mark Cobb one of your DVDs of opening day that Mario has made available to all of the members in Armed Forces.
Under the standings in the Central, the Tigers currently leading KC by 2. Chicago and Cleveland pulling up the rear in the Central. Everett draws the walk. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Keats. Operation Opening Day. You can go, Mark, to the Tigers website, tigers.com/Operation Opening Day, and we will send you a DVD absolutely free to your military address. And that DVD is of opening day and all the festivities here, so that's kind of a neat little thing for you to have overseas.
So those people can see me having fun with the fans on opening day out there in the outfield, and girl with a big hat, as I recall.
I remember that. Part of the opening day festivities.
It was a party. It always is.
Here's Dane Sardina. Leadoff walk to Adam Everett. Sardina already showing bunt. He is not disguising anything. There's a strike. He went right through it. Sardina did not pull the bat back. That pitch was out of the strike zone, but strike 1 is called. Everett down there has stolen a couple. Tigers trying to get a runner into scoring position early in this game because of the fact that Millwood is on the hill. And they feel that perhaps runs will be tough to come by. You talked, Keats, about the fact that he threw 7 shutout against the Tigers earlier this year here before their bullpen imploded. The Tigers won that game.
We have a Twitter tweet that we want to get to when you have a moment, Mr. Tom wants to know, what do you think is the best trade that Dave Dombrowski has made?
Ooh, good one. Well, the Jackson trade right now is looking pretty good. But for me, I still would probably go with the Polanco for Ugueth Urbina.
You got it.
I mean, that was so one-sided, it's not even funny. There's a bunt that goes foul, and now it's 0-2. Would you agree?
Who's Oogie playing for these days?
I don't want to get into that, Keats. That'll just get us in trouble. Those of you that do not know the background on that, Mr. Urbina got into trouble when he left the Tigers.
Good deal of trouble.
Yeah. So 0-2 on Dane, which more than likely will take the bunt off here. We'll see.
If Oogie's watching, hello, Oogie.
Not likely. He tipped it foul. Sardina stays alive.
You know, I actually saw a piece on the conditions in which he is living, and I mean, it's
not good.
You know, no, it's very nice.
Oh, really?
As prisons go, yes. We don't wish that on anybody, but.
And back to first base goes Adam Everett. Tigers tied it up with the Cleat Thomas home run in the bottom of the first after the Rangers went ahead of the Murphy homer off Jackson at the top of the first inning. A sweep is on the line here for Detroit. It would be their 4th sweep of the season if they get it. The 0-2. Got it. Strike 3. Sardina is punched out of there. 1 gone.
Did not like that.
First strikeout. Bring up Curtis Granderson now, who fly to center field back in the first. Curtis sits safely in 25 of his last 30, trying to do something about this leadoff walk from Adam Everett. And a ball high, 1-0. Millwood was selected the Rangers Player of the Month in April. He was 2-2 in April with a 2.13 earned run average. And he has been a horse for them in terms of innings pitched. In fact, he started the season going 7 innings in 7 consecutive starts.
Mario, David Lillo wants to ask you, he enjoys your broadcast, by the way, what's up with Bonderman?
Another good question, David. Bonderman is throwing a rehab start in Toledo tomorrow, correct?
It's actually in Georgia.
Well, Toledo.
For Toledo, correct.
In Georgia. And,
left the team to fly there yesterday. Will pitch tonight, I believe.
There's a drive hit high in the air, right field. This one picking up steam. Cruise to the wall, and it's gone. A home run. Curtis Granderson with number 11. And the Tigers take the lead.
Try Brandon in for the team lead. Right back at you.
There have been questions on why Granderson has not hit too many triples this year. This may be one of the answers. He has pulled the majority of his home runs. This one deep into the seats in right. And balls last year that may have been going to the gap in right center are now being pulled into the seats. And the Tigers lead it 3-1. 384 feet on that long ball for Curtis.
We're 2/3 of the way to Arby's roast beef sandwiches.
Ah, we are indeed. Here's the line drive, snared on a leap by Davis. Nice play. Two gone now. The home run for Granderson, the second hit for the Tigers.
All right, here's a Twitter tweet for you, Mario. Are there aspects to this Tigers team in 2009 that remind you of 2006? It was a long time ago, wasn't it now?
It was, you know, and as I think about it, I think this is a different team. That team had a lot of power at the bottom of the lineup. Guys like Monroe and Marcus Thames, who's currently on the disabled list. This team, I think, is maybe a little bit more balanced. You know, they can run a little bit more. Some of the younger players, I think, had become a little bit more seasoned. Guys like Verlander and Zamaya and Granderson.
There are some parallels, I think, between the bump that they got from Verlander and Zamaya and what Porcello and Perry have brought or will bring to this 2019. Because we hadn't heard so much about the prospects for Justin and Joel making the team at 06, and I think some people were raising some eyebrows that both of them did. Obviously a great decision for the Tigers in 06.
Thomas hits one on the ground at first, deep behind the bag for Davis, and that is that for the Tigers. But it's an inning in which they take the lead, courtesy of Curtis. 2-run shot, 3-1 Detroit.
And this one is a right in your wheelhouse. This is Gordy. He is a journalism major at Hope College, and he has a broadcast-related question.
Mario, when the Tigers are on national TV, what are you doing for the game? You come down here and watch it? You just get a day off?
No, Gordy,
what's your day look like?
I sit on my couch with Cheetos and a couple of sodas and just watch the Tigers. No, we try and spend as much time with our families as we can, Gordy. And when the national guys come to town, we just kind of hang out and watch the game at home. I think it's kind of a cool way. Or if we want to bring the family down to the ballpark, but we see so much baseball, we just kind of hang out at home. Hey, good luck on your broadcasting career there.
He has strong command of the microphone.
He does.
Like, yeah, we'll put this on his wheel. Save this, Gordy, okay?
He ripped it right out of your hand.
I'm going to hold it with 2 hands from now on.
Thanks, Mick.
You got it.
Tigers ahead in this one 3-1 as we go to the 4th. And Jackson again struggling with his control as he falls behind Marlon Byrd here.
It's just what the world needs, more broadcasters.
There are a ton of them out there. And it's an ultra competitive field, but I would never tell anyone interested in getting into journalism or broadcasting not to do it because it's competitive.
See, I tell everybody to stay out.
Do you really?
Yeah, just bear hug this job that we have.
You do not. 3-1 on Marlon Byrd.
Stay in school, kids.
Jackson has been able to wiggle out of a couple of jams. In fact, he was helped out on a great throw by Cleat Thomas with the bases loaded. He had walked 2 batters in that second when Thomas threw a runner out at the plate. There's a strike, and Byrd was headed to first, and he is called back by Angel Hernandez. Marlon is 0 for 1 and now 1 for 8 in this series. He typically has good games against the Tigers. In fact, he's knocked in 15 in his last 15 against Detroit. Popped in the air. Right side of the infield for Polanco. 1 out. How about that Affleck trivia question today? It's a great day for the Duck.
Affleck! Are there bad days for the Duck?
No, never. The Duck wants to know who is the only person to have managed both the Rangers and the Tigers. Good question.
The Rangers have been in Texas since '71. Former Washington Senators.
We'll have that answer for you bottom of the 4th inning. Here is Nelson Cruz.
Mario, Dave Schultz wants to ask you, what kind of sauce should I put on my free Arby's roast beef sandwich? He has a great hope that the Tigers will hit at least another homer.
That's simple. Arby's sauce. Arby's sauce is outstanding. It's some of the best sauce around. That's an easy one. We need another home run, though, don't we? Yeah,
we do.
We got 2. Granderson and Thomas have gone deep. You can tell the ball's flying out of here a little bit today. Now there's nothing cheap about how hard each home run has been hit today, but it seems to fly a little bit better on day games where the temperature, at least today, is 80 right now.
When moving from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole, when it's blowing, it was calm earlier. But that wind didn't affect either of the homers that the Tigers have hit in this game. Nothing cheap about that from Granderson or Thomas.
Here's the 1-2 from Jackson. To the left side of the infield for Adam Everett. On the run, he throws him out. 2 gone. Tigers just continue to play outstanding defense, and this is a Tigers team that really has improved defensively. And Leland was saying before the game today that when he was in Pittsburgh, they used to win a lot. It's not because they had an ultra talented pitching staff. It's because their defense made their pitching staff a lot better. Thomas threw a guy out today at home plate. Everett's making the routine plays. Goes to the hole well. 0-1 on Davis.
An update for you. Since we went on the air, Twitter and Facebook combined, we have added 1,000 people.
That's a big jump. Very nice.
We are getting a ton of responses to the Affleck question. Now these people are not just shouting it out in their living rooms. They're actually typing it to someone. I will tell you, most of you who have responded thus far, wrong.
Really?
Wrong.
Wow. I thought we'd have quite a few right answers. Swing and a miss. That was an uncomfortable looking at bat for Davis. Down he goes on strikes. 1-2-3 inning for Edwin Jackson. Tigers. And your answer is the feisty Billy Martin with the Tigers 71 through 73. Then he went to the Rangers for a couple of years. And there you have it.
We had lots of Buddy Bell guesses.
Oh,
A Ralph Houck guess.
who else? Anybody else?
Billy Martin seemed to flood in here at sort of the last minute. All these tweeters began tweeting with each other, I think, and figured it out during the commercial break.
Cabrera, Larish, and Inge here in the Tigers' fourth in a 3-1 ball game. Tigers have hit 2 homers today. The 1-1. Cabrera could not hold up. What a season it has been for Miguel. He's had a nice homestand, 10 hits already on this homestand, and because of that, he's hanging around for the best average in the American League. He came in second behind Victor Martinez, who was hitting .400 to start the day. He was out in front that time and lofts a lazy pop-up into foul ground. Young will handle it.
One of our responders on Twitter got the Affleck question right. Bambino Lino correctly guessed Billy Martin. For that, you win nothing but our on-air pat on the back and attaboy to Bambino.
Bambino Lino had to be a Babe Ruth fan, don't you think?
I would think.
Here's Jeff Larish.
Billy Martin so tied forever to the Yankees. 3 different stays as the Yankee manager?
Yes, correct. He had a special relationship with Mr. Steinbrenner. One that nobody's been able to figure out.
No.
Larish popped up back in the second. Jeff 0 for 4 in the series.
Billy Martin certainly created a spark when he came to the Tigers back in the early 70s. I guess he created a spark everywhere he went.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we say that kind of half joking because of his personality, but it's true. That's drilled to right center field. Down, a base hit, maybe more. Let's see. Now, nice play by Bird. He gets over there quickly, cuts it off, and fires it back in.
Marlon Bird's had a very nice day defensively. A couple of tough running catches. Cut that one off in the gap. And wouldn't you suspect that he would on a day that we're tweeting?
Of course.
All right, here you go. Mitch Mail asks, Mario, who do you prefer having in the booth, Keats or Rod?
Oh, that's simple. Rod, when you coming back?
I don't blame you at all.
I'm kidding.
At all.
It's funny, he asks that. And, when you work with a guy for so long, and Rod and I have worked together now for 7 straight years, it gets to the point where he knows exactly when I'm going to speak. I know when he's going to speak. I know what's on his mind, and vice versa. You really develop a chemistry and relationship.
Yeah, Mario and I were having the hair-pulling cat fight before we went on the air here this afternoon. Dan Petrie will be in this chair tomorrow. Rod will be back on the weekend.
Looking forward to Peaches joining us tomorrow night. 1-1. Brandon swings and misses. Inch fly to center field back in the second. See,
there we are.
There's Keating with his computer right there.
One of us is watching the game.
That would be me.
Mario, yeah.
It's down low in the dirt, 2-2.
Matthew Eichholt asks Mario and John, what's your favorite part of your job?
Oh, that's hard to answer. There are a lot of great things. I guess at the top of that list would be the fact that you get to come to the ballpark every single day, and that's your job. But the travel's great, seeing all the different cities. I think meeting all the different people around the country in different cities as well. Inge put a charge into that one, but it's going to be run down in Death Valley out there in right center, and they might get a double play out of this. Nope, Larish gets back.
I have people stop me all the time and say it must be heaven to work alongside Mario and Kemba.
No, stop it. The one thing, though, about what all of the stuff that the internet has created is people can watch our games now around the country. So when we go to the different cities, Tiger fans instantly recognize you. I know that. And Rod and myself. And it's kind of neat to be walking in downtown Pittsburgh and somebody comes up to you talking Tiger baseball.
I'll tell you a very quick story. At my son's graduation in Notre Dame, we had a big gathering of families there, and I got up and made an emotional toast to everyone who had gathered. Lost it a little bit, as fathers are known to do, and then had a couple say, "What are the Red Wings doing without you there?"
It kind of ruined the moment, didn't it?
Well, they were folks from our viewing area, and delighted to see them.
You wiped away the tears and answered the question, didn't you?
Big, strong he-man, blubbering.
Shattered bat, look out.
Look out.
That goes into the crowd. Anderson is left with the handle. The barrel is in row 1 or 2 behind the dugout.
Boy, it just scares me when people reach for that thing.
Well, there have been a lot of instances already in which we've had either close calls or some damage done. Don Long, the hitting coach of the Pittsburgh Pirates a couple of years ago, was hit in the face in the dugout with a broken bat, and still suffers the repercussions of that. But it's become part of the game, all these broken bats. Runner going. Here comes a throw from Saltalamacchia, right on target, and they cut down Jeff Larish trying to steal. Tigers are done in the 4th. As we head to the 5th, it's still 3-1 Detroit. under our wing. We're tweeting, we're Facebooking, we're doing all that kind of stuff today.
And it's not just us. We have a whole staff of people. There they are next to us, Tim and Sarah and our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew.
Wave, guys. Come on, wave.
Committing.
There you go.
Committing to our commitment to embrace this social networking feature of Twitter.com and Facebook.com. Your chance to interact with us.
Here's Jared Saltalamacchia showing bunt on that first pitch from Jackson, who so far has given up just 1 run on 3 hits.
What do you suppose the equipment manager of the Texas Rangers sagged when he found out that they had traded for Saltalamacchia?
They're running short on vowels, that's for sure.
That name on every piece of equipment, every uniform shirt.
Well, did you know that Saltalamacchia is the longest name ever to play in a big league game? 14 letters. There it goes.
My goodness.
Could you spell that without looking at it?
I'd have a go at it. That's one of my strange strengths, I guess. A bit of a quirk.
Well, see, now we're showing it too much, so
yeah,
it's too much of a hint.
Well, he needs to work out to build up the lats just so he has room on which to put Saltalamacchia.
Skinny guy can't be named Saltalamacchia.
No. Beefy, maybe.
Here's the 1-2. That'll go foul. Well, Saltalamacchia was originally a first-round pick of the Atlanta Braves. Came over in the Mark Teixeira deal.
Robert Turmel asks you, Mario, do you think the Tigers will ever try wearing two-tone uniforms like Texas is wearing today? We just got a shot of the batter Saltalamacchia.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think the Tiger uniform through the years has been one of the more traditional uniforms, whether it's certainly the home one, which hasn't changed, and the road one, I think, has never been like that, so I would say no.
Went through a stretch in which they had the orange bill on the road hats.
Capped, yeah.
With the orange button on top, and added the Tiger coming through the Old English D. I don't think we'll go back to that again.
Well, there is something about, I think, tradition in this game, and the Tigers certainly follow it with their dress. That's into right center field. Granderson runs this one down, and Andrus is out.
If you're just joining us, you hear some of the questions that well, basically I am posing to Mario, and he is fielding effortlessly. But you can be a part of today's telecast. Just log on to Facebook.com or Twitter.com. Sign up or sign in. Easy to sign up. Just a password and your email address, and then search Fox Sports Detroit and let us know what's on your particular mind. And some of them we will share with our viewing audience as the Tigers go for the sweep here, up 3-1 on Texas.
Here is Ian Kinsler. Strike one from Jackson. Edwin walked a couple of guys in the second, and then fell behind a few in the third, but since then he's been on a bit of a roll now. Edwin got the side in order in the fourth, and that's a base hit. 2-out single. Kinsler has his first hit in this series. They've really handled him pretty well, which has been one of the keys to success in the first 2 games.
I'm going to assume it's the same Jason Beck, who a fine writer for Tigers.com and MLB.com. And Jason's observation on Twitter is that as tough as Saltalamacchia's name is to type on a regular keyboard, it has to be brutal to spell out on a phone.
Yeah, I would probably
This is how messed up some members of the media corps are. Those kinds of thoughts rolling through our collective heads.
Come on, Beck, get back to work now. Here's Murphy. Home run and a single for David Murphy. Rangers now have 4 hits. The Tigers have really made good use of theirs. They have 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 of them home runs. Murphy went deep for Texas for their run back in the first inning. Runner goes and then stops. Kinsler trying to get back to first. Does so, but you saw him spinning his wheels as he went down there, and he decided, I better put on the brakes.
We are getting tons of responses from our members of our military service watching on Armed Forces Network around the globe. So we offer our heartfelt thanks for your service. And hopefully lots of you are Tiger fans. Come home safe, come home soon.
Well, speaking of which, today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving 177 countries aboard ships and at sea. You're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan. Welcome, and a big thank you. Runner goes again. This time a much better jump, but it's ball 4. So Murphy's on. It's a third walk now for Jackson. Tying runs are aboard here. And this after the first 2 men were retired.
Mario, Alan Christensen asks, what's your favorite ballpark? Alan has been on a baseball road trip and saw 7 new parks. He's now been to 23 total.
Really?
Your favorite is?
Well, we don't get to see a lot of the National League parks, although interleague play is helping us out in that respect. We're going to Houston this year, which I'm looking forward
to that, with a hill out in center field.
But my favorite road ballpark would still have to be Fenway Park in Boston. I think that the energy there is unmatched. I think the history there is outstanding. The quirks of that ballpark, I love it there. There go the runners. And Sardina will hold on to the baseball. Double steal, and both runners are safe. So Ron Washington very aggressive. Kinsler, the lead runner at second base, got a huge jump. Murphy followed suit, and Sardina wisely held on to the baseball. Kinsler gets his 10th now, and the second for Murphy. Base hit could tie it up. And they have their best hitter up there in Michael Young. Lifted back out of play. I would say of the new ones, though, Keith, Seattle comes to mind too as one of my favorites.
I'm partial to Camden Yards still.
That's very nice.
That is sort of the oldest of the new wave of ballparks, which sort of created this retro feel, part of which led to Comerica Park, I think. You can see all of downtown. And I agree with you on Fenway.
Well, I will tell you this, hands down for me, the most underrated park is Comerica Park. Nobody seems to talk about this yard around the country, and when you get a day like this and you get a crowd that is packing this place, it's hard to beat this setting.
You can feel the shaking of this place when it's full, and they drew 3.5 million here last year. Going to Wrigley Field in '06 was also one of my favorite Tiger memories. That was a special weekend, Father's Day weekend. Lots of Tiger fans on that trip.
Kenny Rogers got his 200th win there, didn't he?
Indeed, on Father's Day.
And Tigers were rolling at that point in '06. One and two on Michael Young. Tigers are leading this one 3-1. Rangers trying to tie it up with a base hit. Jackson's 1-2. Popped him up. Right side of the infield to the grass. Polanco and Larish. Larish to retire the side. They'll strand 2. Tigers hold on to their lead. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com. Interleague play already.
It's not even June yet. We have that first round of interleague play every year that always comes early. The Rockies are the opponent. Josh Anderson leading it off as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Anderson, Everett, Sardina, 7, 8, 9 for Jim Leyland. Josh 0 for 1 with a ground ball. Rockies are scuffling. They are in last place in the National League West. Of course, the Tigers have had good success in recent years against the National League. In fact, a lot of success. 13-5 against the National League last year.
Yeah, that came at a nice time for the Tigers, who really struggled out of the gate, obviously, last year.
What do you think about interleague play?
I enjoy it.
Do you?
I actually would like to see them flip-flop and play the National League rules in the American League ballpark. So we would see pitchers bat in the home parks. National League parks would see the DH, just to shake it up a little bit.
The shortstop Andrus under this one, and Anderson is out, 1 away. We'll bring up Adam Everett. I guess the only issue I have with interleague play is that because the schedule can be quirky at times, it can really affect pennant races in the other league. I mean, you might be in a division that takes on a weak National League division on a certain year, which could affect your pennant race.
And the Tigers are in a position in which they don't have a geographic rival per se. I mean, unlike the Yankees will always play the Mets, the Rangers will always play the Houston Astros. The two Chicago teams will hook up. So the Tigers get their collection of Rockies and Diamondbacks every year.
Yeah, I think we had the Diamondbacks 4 or 5 straight years.
Yeah.
And they became our rival. 1 ball, 1 strike on Adam Everett. Walked, scored ahead of the 2-run homer by Granderson in the 3rd.
So for better or worse, that might not be fair to all the teams involved.
Well,
unless they played a round robin. I mean, like they do in the NHL and the NBA, where you're playing teams in the other conference on a more regular basis.
I guess the attendance numbers have been good. That's high, 3 balls, 1 strike, and it's all about certainly pumping up the attendance numbers and making the game more popular.
Baseball has been going great guns.
Three and 1 on Everett. He got out in front of that one and yanked it way foul. 3-2.
Mary Wagner on Facebook.com is asking for a shout out to all of the Tiger fans in the UP. She is such a loyal fan that the hamster is named Pudge and the dog is Mags. I believe that might be the first hamster mention we've had on these airwaves.
I think you're probably right. Roll deep to short. Going to be a tough play for the kid. Andrus with a 1-hop throw. Not in time. Boy, he made a nice play. That'll be a 1-out infield single, and Everett reaches for the 2nd time here as the Tigers now try and build on their lead. Just the 4th hit given up by Millwood. And now Dean Sardina, who struck out back in the 3rd. Dane 1 for 17 from the offensive end since coming up from AAA Toledo. And with the injury to Matt Traynor, Sardina has become the number 2 catcher behind Gerald Laird.
I have a question for you when we have a chance to visit.
Wave and a miss, 0-1.
Scott Force asks Mario, do you think Maglio's home run to get past the Athletics into the World Series was one of the top 3 moments in Tigers history? And if not, what are your top 3?
Tigers history?
Yeah.
It goes back over 100 years.
You weren't around for all of them.
Which I was not a part of a lot of it. But in my lifetime, it's definitely top 3.
Gibby's homer against Gossage.
Gibby's homer's up there, no question, against Gossage. Dan Dickerson, the radio voice of the Tigers, and I were talking about this just yesterday, as a matter of fact. We felt that in some ways that win against the Yankees in the ALDS maybe was a little bit more, I don't know, neat than the Maglio home run, which obviously was dramatic and put the Tigers in the World Series. You can't deny that. But just what happened after they defeated the Yankees, involving the crowd and the players coming out spraying the champagne with the fans, to me that moment was a little bit bigger.
Alex Rodriguez hitting 8th in the Yankees lineup in that series. And I remember thinking, because it was such an upset, all right, it's been a great season now. I mean, whatever happens here is gravy.
Absolutely.
Then they knocked off the A's and got to the World Series. And I firmly believe that without that delay between the end of the ALCS and the World Series, the Tigers would have beaten the Cardinals, but that's just me.
Here's the 0-2. Sardina cuts and misses, and down he goes.
Jack Morris's no-hitter in Chicago would be one of them, I would say.
Verlander's.
Danny McClain's 31-win season. Verlander's no-hitter against the Brewers. The Morris no-hitter was part of that 35-5 start, if I remember.
And Rod Allen was a part of that. He was there for that. That was certainly a special time. But yeah, I would say, you know, Gibby is there. The Maglio home run and the win over the Yankees. Those would be top 3. I'm not sure you could put them in order. At least I can.
It's a great question, Scott, on Facebook.com.
Granderson fouls it away. Well, Curtis had the big 2-run blow back in the 3rd, which right now is the difference. His 11th home run of this season. And Granderson's power numbers through the roof so far this year. That's what he gives you at the top of that lineup, that extra dimension of power. And when you look at this Tigers lineup, that's why it's so important for 7, 8, 9 to do their job, because when you turn it over, you are turning things over to a guy that does have some power at the top of the lineup. And when you look at the most extra base hits since the start of 07, Granderson is behind Morneau. That's it.
That is astounding.
If you were to ask baseball fans around the country, name your top 5 there, how many would say Granderson?
We have a firm appreciation for Grandy here in this town, but I agree. Around baseball, that would surprise lots and lots of folks. Corey Genovese asks, are pitchers allowed to wear tattoos on their pitching arms?
I think there was a Blue Jays pitcher last year or 2 years ago that there was an issue with it. They made him put a sleeve on because of the tattoos. There goes the runner. And the throw, not in time. Saltalamacchia thought he had him, and he's already thrown out a couple of runners today. Stolen base for Everett. Here comes Ron Washington now to argue this, but here's our Lincoln Mercury Exmo, and ooh, was that close? That could have gone either way.
Ron didn't exactly sprint out there, so he's not firmly committed to arguing the call. I think he just trying to get the next one, maybe. All right, Facebook and tweeters, what do you think? Yes, no? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it's interesting to see how different people view a replay, because sometimes you can view it a different way. That looked like he might have been out. Certainly could have been called out. But the Tigers will take it.
Our friend Tim Welke making that call. Part of the umpiring crew with brother Bill.
That is the first Tigers runner in scoring position today as Granderson gets a walk.
Got occasion to interview the Welke guys. Part of that collection of umpires from Coldwater, Michigan.
We were talking the other night about Tim. His son Greg plays for Oakland University on the baseball team.
I've heard their basketball broadcaster is superb.
He's as good as they get, I think.
For those of you who don't know, Mario Mpemba, when not working baseball, works a little OU basketball.
Greg Campy has a program on the rise. Trust me when I tell you that. Here's Polanco.
I'm expecting a Greg Campy tweet any second.
Yeah,
now.
you know what? Camp loves Tigers baseball, so get ready.
You know, we find that from the college coaches. We've seen Tom Izzo here, and Rick Comley, the hockey coach at Michigan State, is a big Tiger fan. Red Berenson regularly makes his way down here. Just getting to know Mark D'Antonio and Rich Rodriguez. If you're living in this state, you're a part of the community.
Millwood's 0-2. Good block by Saltalamacchia.
A couple of Facebook posts that he was out.
Yeah.
Was Adam Everett sliding into second?
I think he might have been by a hair.
But the umpires don't have the Lincoln Mercury Exmo,
which makes our job so much easier than theirs. That's lined and caught by Ian Kinsler right before it hit the turf. And that's all for the Tigers here in the 5th inning. They're going to strand a couple of runners. And we will go to the 6th inning. Still 3-1. Fox Sports Detroit Brush Fire Grill. Mickey York standing by with some more Tigers fans. Mick.
A couple of great Tigers fans, Mario, joined by Ron from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Ted from Chesterfield. And guys, before we get to the question, let me ask a question. You guys just get called up from Toledo or what? What's up with the unis?
Mickey, we're actually with the Tiger Fantasy Camp, and we have our little table in the back there. And it may look a little bit silly, but, you know, having gone to fantasy camp, it's a wonderful opportunity. We just want to share that with folks.
Shortstop and a catcher here. Ron, let me get to your question. What do you have for Mario?
Well, if Jeremy Bonderman comes back totally healthy, then what happens with the rotation that seems so strong right now?
Well, that's a great question, Ron, and one that is better asked of Jim Leland, but I think a lot of things can happen. You know, Galarraga has struggled, but I don't know if the Tigers want to yank him out of the rotation. I think there's a possibility somebody, Bonderman or somebody else, could pitch out of the bullpen, but you know, the rotation has been so strong this year that it's going to be a tough choice. But if Jeremy's coming back, it may be out of the pen. Who knows?
All right, Ron, Ted, thank you guys very much. Mario, thank you. I'm going to go get fitted for my Tigers uniform and get ready for the postgame edition of Tigers Live then.
Double XL, Mick. I'm talking about his muscles. Thanks, Mick.
Thank you.
You know, that thought rolled through my head, and I said, "No, I'm not saying that." And you just blurted it right out loud.
I'm not going to waste any time.
There's Mick.
Thank you, Mickey. He's always a good sport.
Well, sure, you say that now.
Yeah. He can't hurt me from down there. And I run fast. One out. Here is Marlon Byrd. We're in the 6th inning. Tigers lead at 3-1.
We got a tweet from somebody watching in Kuwait, not deployed by the military there, just living there with his mom, but watching on the satellite. So Tiger fandom is truly global.
Absolutely. Welcome. Bird is 0 for 2. Only 4 hits for each side in this one. Jackson maybe not as crisp as he has been, but when you look up at the board, he's in the 6th inning. He's given up just 1 run and 4 hits. Edwin doing his job again. The 1-1. Little pop up to the shortstop. Everett for out number 2. How about the pitch count on Jackson? It's at 85 right now.
I'm told we're also being seen in Amsterdam by folks there, and Israel as well. The tiger growl is universal. A cloudless day. Perfect day for baseball.
It is indeed. It's up to 81 right now. Here's Nelson Cruz.
Gregory Pearsall asked, do you think Texas is better now than it's been in previous years? I'm guessing he means the Texas Rangers, not just Texas in general.
Yeah, that's what I inferred from that question. Yeah, I think they are. I think that Mike Maddox has done a terrific job with their pitching. And Ron Washington deserves a lot of credit as well. I mean, there was a time last year when they came in here and people were wondering how long is Wash going to last as their manager, and even this year. But he has found a way to mesh a pretty good offense together. They are still without Hamilton, who's battling a groin injury right now. But their pitching, and year after year, it seems that has been their Achilles. It's really come around this year. I think Nolan Ryan has had something to do with that, taking over the helm of that ball club, and Maddox coming over. And they've been really good. I think they'll challenge in the West.
They had won 7 in a row as they came into Detroit to start this series against the Tigers, and in fact at that point had their 2nd best record after I believe it was 35 games in franchise history.
That is skied to the left side of the infield. Inge battling the sun, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Edwin Jackson. Nothing doing for Texas. Still 3-1 Detroit. Freeze cam will highlight the 2 Tigers homers. First, Cleet Thomas, who goes the other way. Did not get cheated. 435 feet to left center field for Cleet. And then Curtis Granderson pulled his down the right field line, his 11th of the year. The Tigers with their 2 homers today. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. 3-1 Detroit. Looking for some tack-on runs here as Cleet Thomas leads it off. We're in the 6th inning. Tigers have 4 hits today. 2 of them have left the building. It'll be Thomas, Cabrera, and Larish facing Kevin Millwood. Millwood 74 pitches through 5 innings. The 1-0. Cleet takes it outside. Thomas showing off his array of skills in this game. The mammoth power he has apparently to left center field with that home run. and his throwing arm, which seems to be just fine after the surgery.
And as you might suspect, after a day or during a day like Cleat is enjoying presently, there are lots of folks responding to us on Facebook.com and Twitter.com that Cleat Thomas should absolutely remain a major league player. A bit of a bubble guy when first called up, but he is making a case to stick up here.
Well, he really is, and I know that Jim Leland loves the way he plays the game. And when you think about it, Keats, he probably would have made the team out of spring training had he been able to play in the field a little bit more. He was still recovering from that elbow surgery, and all he was basically able to do was swing the bat in spring camp. But here he is as he rolls one to the shortstop Andrus, who had him perfectly played.
And I will tell you, as a promo for tomorrow's Tigers Live before the Tigers and Rockies game, we'll have an interview with Cleat Thomas where he will talk about just that, how frustrating it was to be an outfielder and come back from the Tommy John surgery, and whether he had lost his footing a bit in the Tigers organizational flow chart.
That surgery is not for just pitchers alone now. You're seeing outfielders. I know Jay Buhner had it a while back for Seattle. Shin-Soo Choo has had it for Cleveland. Thomas for the Tigers. Here's Miguel Cabrera. Ball low, 1-0 on Miguel.
If you're just joining us, we talked about Jake Peavy, the potential trade from the San Diego Padres to the Chicago White Sox. Not exactly a done deal yet, but certainly all the talk in baseball on this day. Folks asking whether that might spur the Tigers to make a move, but in light of our conversation about the rotation being rock solid and Bonderman coming back and joining them, I wouldn't think the Tigers would feel compelled at all to react to what the White Sox have done.
I would agree with that 100%. I mean, this is a Tigers team that came in third in the American League in team earned run average. I mean, Verlander is pitching as well as anybody in the league. Jackson came in with the second best ERA in the league. And these guys have been outstanding. You know, right now, the only guy that is struggling a bit is Galarraga, and you would expect that he will find his groove. He pitched too well last year and in the month of April this year.
Come join us at Facebook.com and Twitter.com. It's the first time we've done this. A commitment to the social networks. Your chance to be interactive with us as we bring you Tigers baseball. The last number I had heard was that 1,300 folks have joined Facebook.com and Twitter.com since we began today's broadcast.
We getting a cut of the profits for that?
Those are just the new members.
Oh, okay. That's pulled foul. Cabrera hitless today, but he's had a really good homestand, 10 hits. And he's batting .379 right now. This was about the time last year that Cabrera was really getting it going into the month of May after a very slow April. That's skied in the air. Shallow right field, long run for whoever's going to get there. Kinsler, did he make the catch? Yes, he got it. Wow. That thing was hooking on him big time. And Kinsler made a nice play to run 1.5 miles to get there. Battling the wind, the sun, and he held on with a basket catch. Nicely done.
He circled it, got the. Sporting News just came out with their list of the top 50 players in baseball right now. Ian Kinsler ranked 24th, and among the players in this game, he is the highest rated. Josh Hamilton 26th, Miguel Cabrera 28th, and Mario, you and I were talking about that. It's a bit surprising that Miguel Cabrera is not a little bit higher on this list. Albert Pujols #1 overall.
So of the players between these two teams here today, Cabrera is figured as the third best.
Correct.
I don't know that I buy that.
Behind Kinsler and Josh Hamilton,
who are outstanding players.
Sure.
We're talking about Cabrera here. Let's see if Saltalamacchia, he can't find it. He didn't know that thing was landing back into the seats. He was just protecting himself.
that had a bit of a little league feel to it. He put his glove on his head. Please don't hurt me.
That was a flashback for me. My little league days. Check this out. Where is it? Oh boy.
With that head of hair, I'm not sure whether he needed, much additional protection.
That one will be in play. Andrus is called off by Murphy. And the Tigers go quickly and quietly here in the 6th. So we'll head to the 7th at Comerica Park. 3-1 Detroit. Great day here in the Motor City. Look at Belle Isle in the backdrop. With the Tigers leading it 3-1 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Millwood and Jackson just about pitch for pitch. 89 pitches for Jackson, 88 for Millwood. But the Tigers have done more damage. They lead 3-1. Edwin back to the hill now, facing Chris Davis. 7, 8, 9 coming up for Texas. Big wave and a miss. 1-1. Davis now 0 for 19 in the season series against Detroit this year. He'll taps that one foul.
He'll be the first one on the bus today.
He'll be dressed. He'll be on the bus.
Let's get out.
Ready to leave town.
Rangers move on to Houston to play the Astros at Minute Maid Park. Tigers welcome in the Rockies this weekend here at home.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. There's another strikeout for Davis, who has fanned 7 times in this series. 4 of them now for the right-hander Jackson.
Hey, visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source at the Tigers.com shop. Brandon Inge, he have 11 home runs so far this season. They're wearing the big cheesy smile these days.
He's having quite a year. Saltalamacchia, the batter. One ball, one strike. Tigers came into play today at 22-16. They opened a 2-game lead over Kansas City in the Central. Kansas City almost came back last night and beat Cleveland again. They did it 2 nights ago. They left the bases loaded last night. And this KC team is starting to make people wonder.
Yeah. We will see them shortly.
Yeah, next road trip.
I have a tweet for you.
Tweet away.
One moment.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Boy, Jackson with 5 strikeouts now, 2 gone.
Well, Brian Law asks Mario, have you gotten used to Rod's uncanny ability to predict upcoming plays? Where does he get that from?
His years and years of experience. Seriously, I mean, he has seen so much baseball, whether it's coaching, playing at every level.
It's a little creepy.
It is creepy.
That ability is a little creepy, I'm here to tell you.
You know when it gets creepy is when he starts to predict squeeze plays. That's when it really gets creepy. And he did it again earlier this year. I mean, it's uncanny, but I think Rod, more than anyone that I've ever worked with, can predict situations, knows exactly what a manager is thinking, what a base runner is thinking, what a hitter is thinking. He is certainly talented in that respect. There's no question.
I'm trying to get him to come over to the Motor City Casino with me.
17 black. That's what I'm seeing on the roulette wheel.
Use this for a particular purpose.
1-1 on Elvis Andrus. Jackson again. Big story here today. There's the strike call.
I'm just told that you have a paisan in Italy watching.
Really? Where in Italy, do we know?
We are efforting. I'll say Napoli.
There's a line drive left field. That ball is down. This will be extra bases. Anderson running over there to cut it off. Andrus will cruise into second base with his second extra base hit of the series.
From where are your ancestors?
Close to Naples. So it's
Italy, not Florida.
Italy, not Florida.
Gotcha. All right, just checking.
Yeah, they're from Fort Myers, Keats.
They've got the heavy accent.
Panama City.
Surprising. As you can probably tell, this is not your standard Tigers broadcast. We're fielding your questions at Facebook.com and Twitter.com.
Wave and a miss. 0-1. Kinsler is 1 for 3, single and a steal. Jackson now has surpassed the 100 marker for pitches thrown. 101. And trying to strand the runner at second base. What a game he has thrown again today. Ooh. Fouled off. That one caught Sardina. 0-2.
Just got a Facebook post from someone who says they're at Motor City Casino right now using their phone.
Is that legal?
My goodness. My goodness.
Well, the scope is certainly wide reaching. Got him set up 0-2. There goes the runner to third. Here comes the throw. It's almost into left field. Way high. Inge made a great athletic play to save a run there. And Sardina probably was better off holding that ball because of the huge jump. Andrus with his 5th stolen base. Great play by Inge. That ball was headed down the left field line.
Boy, he has hops. For a guy his size to dunk a basketball. Or so he tells us.
I believe him. Swing and a miss. Jackson strikes him out. Kinsler goes down. 6 strikeouts for Edwin Jackson. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Brandon Inge will lead it off. He'll be followed by Josh Anderson, Adam Everett, Mario and Pemba back at the ballpark, along with John Keating today filling in for Rod Allen, who's back home. His daughter Rachel graduating from high school, so we'll have Keats today, and Dan Petrie joining us tomorrow for the telecast. Tried something a little bit different today. Interactive telecast here.
It has been that.
Twitter, Facebook. I've given folks an opportunity today to be in touch with us. And vice versa. Brandon is 0 for 2. Millwood missing outside, 2-1. Meanwhile, here it has been a terrific game. The Tigers fell behind 1-0. Then they hit a pair of home runs. Thomas, a mammoth shot in the first, and then a 2-run homer by Granderson.
Mario, got a post from Kevin Collard on Facebook.com. His brother Mark Collard had a liver transplant yesterday at U of M Hospital in intensive care, but watching us. And so we offer a shout out to Mark. Heal up quick. He's a ball player, pitcher for the church softball team, and played in American Legion ball with the aforementioned Kirk Gibson.
Really? Well, our best wishes, Mark. Get well soon. Get back out here to the ballpark. Legion ball with Gibby.
I gotta believe he was grumpy back then too.
Grumpy. Grumpy's putting it mildly, I would assume. Grumpy.
That's what made him special, though, his grumpiness.
There's Josh Anderson. 3 walks now for Millwood. It would behoove the Tigers maybe to add a few more to the scoreboard.
They've been really good at that lately, the add-on runs.
Tap foul, first base side, 0-1. Tigers have actually been out hit in this game 5-4. Gene Lamont running through the signs, and Josh Anderson giving a look.
Gene Lamont has something in common with Wilkin Ramirez. Did you guys get into that last night?
Did not. What is it?
One of the Tigers to hit a home run in his first first major league hit as a Tiger, and it was a home run.
Really?
Wilkin Ramirez did so last night in his third at bat after a couple of strikeouts, in fact. And Gino did it back in the day. He's coming up, backing up Bill Freehand.
That ball that Ramirez hit last night, still traveling. He was so excited flying around the bases, too.
The last Tiger to do that was Reggie Sanders.
74?
1974. I get shivers when I think about 1974 and what people were wearing.
What was wrong with the 70s? Bell bottoms, platform
Oh my!
shoes.
It's a long list of things wrong with the 70s.
Still have your mood ring? Runner goes and it's fouled back.
You know, I'm going to guess that any mention of the 70s is going to spark a whole new thread of posts to Facebook.com and Twitter.com. I had a pair of white shoes that I can't even begin to tell you about.
Patent leather?
No, but they had a big mother heel to them.
Yeah. It's tapped foul. All shoes in the 70s had the big heels. All of them. Literally.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we thought it looked good back then.
Yeah. We had friends. Why didn't people tell us we looked like idiots? Because they look like idiots, too. I guess I'm answering my own question.
All in the same boat. Millwood's 2-2 pitch is on the ground to the right side. Kinsler, nice scoop, fires to second one. Here comes the relay, not going to be in time, but that is a big league play by Ian Kinsler. For him to range that far and fire it right on the money to Andrus covering his second base, big league play. And maybe any other runner in the lineup for the Tigers, aside from Granderson, if they turn this to. Anderson can really run. It'll bring up Adam Everett.
Mario, Troy Highnote has a rules question for you. If a pitch ball bounces in the dirt and the hitter hits it off the bounce, legal?
Yeah, he can do that. Absolutely.
There you go, Troy.
It's in play, no question. Pretty hard to do, but it can happen, I suppose.
Well, there are hitters who will swing at just about anything.
Yep.
Vladimir Guerrero is one of those guys.
He certainly comes to mind.
We look at Adam Everett wearing number 4, Bobby Higginson's old jersey, and one of our tweets is from someone still proudly wearing their Higgy jersey. I believe Adam Everett's the first Tiger to wear number 4 since Higgy.
Good question. You might be right. I'm trying to think. That's hit to Kinsler on a soft hop. Backhanded flip for one. Relay. They got the double play this time. Nicely done by Kinsler again. 4-6-3, 7 in the books. 3-1 Detroit. Summary, the Tigers have hit a couple of home runs in this game. Thomas and Granderson. Curtis a 2-run shot. Edwin Jackson in his last 3 starts now has given up just 2 earned runs. He has struck out a bunch. And Ian Kinsler, one of the big stories for Texas in a negative way. He is only 1 for 12 in the series, and that's a big part of the Tigers' reason for success, keeping their leadoff man off the bases. Couldn't ask for a nicer day.
Absolutely. Hey, Ox Baker 317 has a tweet that asks who's doing color for the game in Rod's absence. Nobody.
That would be
answered. Nobody.
John Keating. The answer to that question.
Well, we're having great fun fielding your tweets and your questions and your observations at twitter.com and facebook.com. Very special interactive day. Tigers Rangers wrapping up their series.
Murphy, the responsible party for their only run, a home run in the first inning solo shot. He's also singled and walked, and he has stolen a base, so it's been a busy day for him. The only thorn in the side really for Edwin Jackson, who came into this 8th inning with 105 pitches under his belt. Sardina down to block that one. 2-1. Tigers do have some activity going now in their bullpen. The right-hander is Ryan Perry. The left-hander is Bobby C. We got Hank Blaylock lurking. Young is next.
How about the job Joel Zumaya did last night? Into and out of trouble. couple of strikeouts and a fist pump. He wiggled out of a jam and helped lead the Tigers to victory.
Yeah, he gave up a couple of ground balls that found a hole, then a little flare to left field, and all of a sudden the bases were loaded. Ooh, that one just missed, and now it's ball 4 on Murphy. Leadoff man on. 4 walks now for Edwin. Here comes Jim Leyland. That may be it. Got Michael Young due up here, then Blaylock, a left-handed batter. Don't forget they still have Hamilton lurking on their bench. He pinch hit in the ball game last night. They also had Vizquel who pinch hit. Andrew Jones. So they've got some options on their bench. Jackson is going to stay in.
That is as quick a conversation as a manager is going to have.
What could he possibly have said there?
Let's go. Go at him.
Well, here's Michael Young. Tying run at the plate. Young today is 0 for 3.
Taking his average all the way down to 340.
High towering drive left field. Anderson going back to the edge of the warning track to make the catch. That made your heart skip a beat.
It sure did.
1 out. Well, is he going to pitch to Hank Blaylock here? Blaylock has the power to tie this one up. They have Bobby C. hot and ready to go in the bullpen.
We're talking about Adam Everett wearing number 4. Bobby Higginson wearing number 4. Clarification, Cameron Maben in his short time as a Tiger wore number 4 before he was traded to Florida for the Miguel Cabrera Dontrell Willis package.
Meanwhile, Jackson will stay in to pitch to Blaylock. 1-0. Technicality there. Cameron wasn't up for all that much.
No. And my memory is not as good as it used to be. Remember the day at Yankee Stadium where Cameron Maben got called up, thrust into the lineup?
Well, it was a time in which the Tigers wanted to spark, and Maben was having a nice year down in the minor leagues. Cameron Maben, though, began this year on the big league roster in Florida, and after hitting .202 was sent down to AAA. So he's not had the immediate impact that many thought he would.
They still like his upside there. Andrew Miller a part of that package as well. Going to the Marlins and a handful of minor league prospects. A lot of pitching. But what we've seen from Miguel Cabrera and what we saw just the other night from Dontrell Willis would lead us to think that the Tigers would make that deal again in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. And really, when you look at it right now, Burke Badenhop pitching out of their bullpen is really the only guy that has given them anything of substance at the big league level so far. And Miller, of course, last year, but on the disabled list. He was, I think, 6-10 last year. The 2-1 is off the mask of Sardina. 2-2 now on Hammer and Hank Blaylock.
Our viewing audience all over this. Gregory Pearsall reminding you, even before Mario said it, that Burke Badenhop is doing well in Florida right now.
Ah, there you go.
We can slip nothing past our educated viewership.
But if you were to assess that trade as it was made, Badenhop would not have been, I think, the guy chosen.
Right.
2-2.
Here comes the crowd.
Murphy at first base with 1 out. It's a crowd today of better than 34,000. Checked it. And in time, so now it's 3-2, and the question is, what do they do with the runner Murphy?
I wonder if Rod will text us with that answer.
Rod, if you're listening, let us know. We're so good at that. R. Allen from Scottsdale, from Phoenix, says runner will go. 3-2. Jackson now at 115 pitches. His high water mark this year, 117 in the start against the Yankees. Runner holds, and it's driven high in the air, deep into right field, way back. Thomas to the wall, and he will make the. No, he dropped it. Thomas got there but couldn't hang on to it. Davis will go to third, and Blaylock is into second, and it looked like Cleat was going to make the catch at the wall. What a huge play that is. And it looked like Blaylock got most of that one, but he fell a little bit short.
He thought it was gone.
Or was it off the wall? Cleat came close. And now the tying runs are in scoring position here. And Marlon Byrd stepping in with only one out. They've ruled that a double.
That certainly puts a different spin on this inning.
And it has quieted the crowd down considerably.
Jim Leyland trying to get Edwin Jackson through the top of the 8th.
3-1 Detroit. Runners at second and third. Little broken bat pop up to the shortstop. Huge out there for Edwin.
Absolutely.
Sawed him off. And he took care of him on one pitch. One more big out to get, though, and it's Nelson Cruz.
Joe Doherty asked, why are pitch counts so important in today's game of baseball?
Well, if you ask Nolan Ryan, he would say they're not and shouldn't be important.
Mickey Lolich the same.
But that's just the way the game is played. With the specialization in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th innings, they expect pitchers, if they can get them into the 7th with 100 pitches or so, that it's a good outing. But that's just the way the game has kind of evolved for pitchers. Fastball is in, 1-0.
Hope you had a chance to watch the fantastic edition of Tigers Weekly that was dedicated to the memory of Mark Fidrich, and we remember how many complete games he had in 1976. A whole slew of them.
24. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Imagine throwing that many complete games in your rookie season.
Yeah. And you know, maybe it had something to do with the arm injury that ultimately he had. It was a knee injury that led to him alter his mechanics, pitching mechanics. Pretty soon he was done.
Fouled away. Now it's 1-2. Boy, is Jackson battling in this one.
Now he's at a new high water mark for the season in terms of pitch count in a game. So much is made of a starting pitcher going over 200 innings in a season. Lolich had, I think, 4 years in a row in which he went over 300.
By the way, Rod texted me and said the runner was going to hold and not run. And he was right. Blaylock almost hit it out, though. Here's the 1-2. In the air toward the gap, left center. It's trouble. It's down. This is going to tie the game. All the way to the wall. And Nelson Cruz has a big 2-run double here in the 8th. It's a 3-3 game. Jackson came within an eyelash of getting out of this inning. But Cruz has tied it up.
Started with a walk.
And on the 121st pitch thrown by Edwin Jackson, Nelson Cruz delivers. And here is Chris Davis. One ball to no strikes. Davis has struck out twice. And you may wonder why Leland would stay with the right-hander here and not bring in the lefty with the lefty up, but they still have Andrew Jones on their bench, a right-handed batter. And Davis has been prone to striking out quite a bit. He has done it 2 more times in this game and has fanned 7 times in the series, so he likes this matchup better. Now the 1-1.
Rangers now out hitting the Tigers 7-4, and we're tied at 3 as we play in the 8th.
That is the first runs for Texas since they got a run in the very first inning. Jackson throwing up nothing but 0 since until the 2-run double. The 2-1. Fought it off. 2-2 now on Chris Davis. I'm talking about all the strikeouts that Davis has rolled up. 61 now, which is still the most, not only in the American League, but the majors. And Jackson needs one here. Runner goes, and it is a little bit outside. No throw down to third. Cruz stole that one standing up, and the pitch by Jackson just missed. Cruz steals his 5th. Where was this one? Whoa. Davis has new life. That was close. 3-2 pitch. He lost in ball 4, and that's going to have to be it, I would imagine, for Jackson. He has thrown a season high 127 pitches. Sardina taking that walk out to the mound. They have Saltalamacchia coming up.
Jim's staying with him.
Yeah, he is. He's going to give him one more hitter.
He didn't budge.
So here's Saltalamacchia, the 7th man to bat in the inning. Rangers at first and third. Tigers today have been out hit 7-4. There's a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. For 7 with 5 strikeouts against Jackson. So that's why Edwin's still in there. And now it's 0-2. Numbers play a very big role with a lot of managers, and Jim Leland is one of those managers that will take a look at the numbers. And if they're overwhelming like they are here, he'll make his decision accordingly.
Jim's not a guy that keeps those pieces of paper handy, but they're locked in the vault upstairs.
The 0-2. Jackson trying to catch his breath. 130 pitches. One and 2 on Jared Saltalamacchia. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Jackson dusting him off. 7 strikeouts. Rangers tie it up, though. What a yeoman's effort today from Edwin.
Grill. Chance to visit with Mickey York. That's not Mickey York. Mickey's a little skinnier than that, Mario. All those great faces. Part of the 34,000 and change who have made their way into Comerica Park to see what has turned out to be a terrific ball game as we're tied in the 8th.
And the Tigers here in the 8th inning have Dane Sardina, Curtis Granderson, and Placido Polanco. Did you see that one sign that said number 48, we should date? 48 is Rick Porcello, so he's got some fans.
Apparently he's dreamy. I'm told by
is that what you're told?
Yeah, girls that I know believe he's dreamy.
Driven in the air, right field, coming to the corner. Cruz can't get there, and boy, the wind played with that one. By the way, the 132 pitches today by Edwin Jackson is the most by a Tigers starter this year by a wide margin. Verlander threw 122 at Minnesota. 132 today by Edwin Jackson.
You know, I thought you were kidding when you said Rod Allen texted you, because he texted me as well. I'm just noticing.
What'd he say?
Well, just that the runner was staying. I mean,
he wanted to make his point, and he was right again.
As we were trying to predict whether he was going or staying. Rod is watching. Hello, Rod.
Wave and a miss, and Sardina strikes out for the 3rd time today.
How about that? Our announcers are interactive with us as well.
Excellent. Hey, by popular demand, the Tigers Super Spring Deal has been extended for all games in May. $15 mezzanine seats are on sale for just $10. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. Log on to tigers.com. Super Spring Deal all month. Here's Granderson. They have another long ball in him. He hit a 2-run shot back in the 3rd to give the Tigers their 3-1 lead. It lasted until the 8th.
That'll mean roast beef for everybody.
Yeah, the Tigers had 2 homers today. Arby's could be serving up some roast beef with another Tiger home run. 1-1.
Well, it is the beauty of baseball, and Jim Leyland knows this as well as anybody, that there's lots of second guessing, a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking. Some folks at Facebook.com wondering whether Jackson was left in too long. That's the beauty of the game.
The 2-1 pitch is in there. Well, if there was a situation where Jackson might have come out, it would have been perhaps against the left-hander Blaylock, who eventually doubled. But once it got to Saltalamacchia and it was in the high 120s in the pitch count, the numbers were too overwhelming to take him out at that point, and he ended up striking him out. That's inside, 3-2. But that is the beauty of the game, and Leland does understand that. He says he gets a lot of letters every day.
He does. And he doesn't mind talking to people about it. He will tell you how he feels and what his rationale was for a particular decision. He knows lots of baseball, this guy.
Hit on one hop to the shortstop, Andrus. Granderson is out by half a step. He was running hard.
And that's what makes days like this one cool. That as you're watching the game at home, you can share your thoughts with us, and we can sort of toss those out for consideration.
Here's Polanco, who is 0 for 3. Meanwhile, Millwood's pitch count is pretty beefy as well, 110. Polanco has yet to homer this year. Now, we know he's not a big home run hitter, but in the last 2 years he has hit 17 combined. 8 last year, 9 the year before that, so he can go deep.
You calling it?
I don't know that I'm calling it, but just something to think about.
Come on, call it.
Okay, home run. Or into center field, a base hit. 2-out single. Two-out base hit. And now Cleat Thomas.
All right, Cleat. Day started great for you. Long home run. Double play assist from the outfield.
Are you calling it?
Sure.
Okay.
That's going to be the answer every time, isn't it?
Until we get it right.
Yeah, somebody's got to call it. Can't be afraid to call it.
Thomas's home run back in the first inning traveled 435 feet.
He doesn't need all of that. Different parts of the ballpark.
2-0. So Millwood now entering that range where perhaps the pitch count starts to take a toll.
See if he can get through the 8th.
The most he has thrown is 121, and that's on the ground. Foul.
That's a break.
Well, their bullpen has been working and ready. Everyday Eddie is the lefty, Guardado, and Darren O'Day.
They're just hanging around out there.
Yeah. On a day like today, I would assume it doesn't take very long to get heated up and ready to go. 82 degrees right now.
And people are telling me not to jinx the Tigers now by wishing them well.
There's no such thing as a jinx.
Well, yeah.
There isn't.
Do we need to go back to the Verlander no-hitter day?
Yeah, all right. Let's not then. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ooh, swing and a miss. He challenged him up there. He climbed the ladder on him. 2-2. Polanco, the go-ahead runner at first base, and Thomas now with a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. High. This time he wouldn't chase. Millwood went right back up there hoping he would, but he didn't. And if Millwood loses Thomas here, you've got Cabrera lurking. And he is 0 for 3 today. This big crowd here today treated to an outstanding game. Edwin Jackson, brilliant.
I am told that our old friend Steve Sparks lashed through 132 pitches in a Tiger start.
Really? There goes the runner, and that is ball 4. Put 2 aboard. But that's much different for a knuckleballer.
Indeed. And Sparky's doing some TV work these days for the Houston Astros. We'll see him on a month or so.
One of my favorite former Tigers.
He's a great human being.
So this is really interesting now. The Tigers have 2 men on in a tie game. How are they going to pitch to Cabrera? He has gotten him 3 times today. And Miguel just sitting on one of these opportunities where he once again can become a hero here. They are staying with Millwood just like the Tigers stayed with Edwin Jackson. These numbers 9 for 30 with a couple of home runs career. That's a good sign. There have been 250 combined pitches between the 2 starters.
My goodness. Is there a guy you'd prefer to face other than Cabrera? Everybody, I would think.
The rest of the lineup.
Yeah.
And little looper into center field. It's going to drop. Base hit. Here comes Polanco rounding third. He will score. And Cabrera comes through with an RBI single to give the Tigers the lead. It wasn't very pretty or very powerful, but it got the job done.
An absolutely dreadful throw from center field.
Bird came out of his shoes with that throw, and it was way up the line. And there was really little chance of them getting Polanco, who was off on the crack of the bat. seemingly harmless 2-out single has now given the Tigers a 4-3 lead. The Polanco hit, the Thomas walk, and the Cabrera hit.
Edwin Jackson a happy man. Fernando Rodney's up loosening in the Tigers bullpen right now.
Here is Jeff Larish now with 2 men on, 2 men out. A little breathing room would be nice. Strike 1 on Larish.
Well, I'm sure there will be second guessing in the Rangers dugout now, but leaving their starting pitcher in.
Millwood season high 121 pitches against Oakland. And here's a ground ball hit to the right side. Right there is Kinsler to record the out. So the Tigers break the tie. Cabrera's RBI single gives them a chance to win it in the ninth, 4-3. Was brilliant here this afternoon. He is done, and for Jackson, what a day it was. He may not have had his tremendous control here this afternoon, fell behind quite a few hitters, but Edwin has a chance now to win this ball game with the Tigers coming up with a run. Here's our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Jackson today didn't get as many first pitch strikes as he has in previous starts, but he finished the ball game with a total of 7 strikeouts through 132 pitches in getting through 8 innings of work, and in doing so has a chance to get a victory tonight. And what an outing for Edwin Jackson, who will turn it over now to the bullpen. And his numbers here today: 8 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs. He did walk 5, so again the command was not right where it was in his last couple of starts, but the 7 strikeouts, and all you can ask for is to give your team a chance to win. And now the Wallside Windows pitching change brings in Fernando Rodney.
Yeah, there was some question about whether there would be a pitching change, because Fernando a little slow to join us, coming out of the bullpen to start the 9th inning. But there he is. Chance at his 8th save in 8 opportunities. He has found his way into 16 games and protected the lead in each one. Not all of those were save opportunities, but Fernando Rodney can nail one down right here.
Well, he's going to face the number 9 hitter, Elvis Andrus, and then Kinsler and David Murphy. And again, they still have Josh Hamilton on their bench along with Andrew Jones. Rodney starts him off fastball, 1-0 on Andrus, who has a double to his credit today. A slim 1-run margin. These are the types of games where the closers earn their keep. One and one.
All right, here's a tweet for you. Would you rather see a Tigers blowout or a close game like we're witnessing today?
I'm all for the blowouts. It's a lot less stress at the end. 10-0 sounds good to me.
I think this is great stuff. It's very compelling.
Oh, there's no question.
Unscripted drama.
Ooh, he looked to bunt. Did not make contact. 1 and 2.
Well, that from Thale342 on Twitter.com, tweeting into us.
Tigers today have been out hit 7-6, but they lead 4-3. Slap foul back out of play. Rodney again tried to sneak a fastball by him at 95 miles an hour. What a weapon he can be when he's able to command that fastball. It sets up that changeup, which is as good as any in the game.
Change piece, Brother Allen calls it.
That's right. Missed with that one. 2 and 2. There was a time where Rodney was trying to incorporate a slider. The Tigers felt, you know what? The 2 pitches you have are dominating enough. Let's not worry about that 3rd pitch. The 2-2 is grounded foul.
You know, Mario, when we chatted in spring training in Lakeland, I mean, the big concerns with the Tigers at that point were starting rotation and a closer, because both were rather uncertain. Well, they've turned out to be strengths on this team, which is one of the reasons why the Tigers are leading the Central Division. And today, trying for their 6th consecutive win.
That's low. 3 and 2. Well, Rodney has kind of grabbed this closer spot and run with it. And Leland said before the game, you know, people forget that 2000 season. Fernando started the year by saving 7 consecutive games. So he has the ability to be in this role and thrive in it.
He's proven that right now.
3-2 pitch. He lost him. Ball 4.
Well, maybe we did jinx him right there.
Leadoff man on. That's a tying run. And here comes Leland. Not to make a change, but to deliver some words. So Andrus, who can really run down there at first base, becomes a serious threat. Andrus stole 54 in the minor leagues last year. So we're talking big time base stealing speed and ability. Here's some numbers on Rodney. Save opportunities. The ERA is at 1.29.
And that conversation was a little bit longer and leads to an actual Jim Leland jog off the diamond.
I'm sure they were also talking about Andrus and how they want to play, what the Rangers may be doing here, because now they have Kinsler up there with good speed at first. We'll see how they want to play it. The baseball conventional wisdom is that you go for the win on the road and the tie at home. So a bunt is not likely here from Kinsler. And he rolls one foul.
Ian now at 297.
He came in rolling, but this has not been a good series for him. 1 for 12.
And the only hit of the series today, a single.
Low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
As we show you the double box there, we can tell you that at Twitter and at Facebook, Tiger fans typing out their wishes for a double play.
Grounded foul. 1-2. Fernando ahead in the count. Murphy due next. Edwin Jackson went the first 8 through 132 pitches here this afternoon. Tigers got him a run in the bottom of the 8th, and hopefully can get him a victory. Swing and a miss. Down goes Kinsler. One away.
That's a big out,
to say the least.
Dive it in below his knees. Fernando Rodney's a different breed of cat. I mean, he's a really good guy. Very soft spoken. Loves to sing. But very competitive, particularly in these settings.
Here is Murphy. Ball 1. He can be engaging if you engage him. He's
that's very well put.
Very, very quiet.
That is very well put.
It's usually not the other way around, though.
And talking about himself is not his favorite thing.
2 balls, no strikes.
That's generally what I get from lots of baseball players. What do you want to talk about? Oh, let's talk about you. Nah, I don't want to talk about me. Mario, on the other hand,
I love talking about myself.
Happy to do that.
2-0. Fabricating another story, I see.
Facts never have gotten in the way.
There's a strike. It's been quite a day for Murphy, who came in hitting 200. He's had a home run, a single, 2 walks, and a steal. Little ground ball here to second base would be nice. Send us home happy. There's a line drive to right. It's a base hit instead. Andrus hits the bag at second. He's going to go to third. And what a day for Murphy. A single to right field puts runners at first and third with 1 out.
Well, now. And brings up Michael Young.
So the Rangers now bringing up the middle of their lineup here. Their number 3 hitter Young.
They've got Josh Hamilton on their bench too.
Gene Lamont is on the phone chatting with the bullpen. Young is 0 for 4. Ball 1. 8 hits now for Texas. They trail 4-3. Tigers trying to put this one away, but Fernando Rodney facing runners at first and third.
Ground ball, though, gets them the same result. Double play ends it.
Young takes outside, 2-0. So Rodney making this one interesting. 2-0 the count on Michael Young. And he throws him a 2-0 changeup that's in there for a strike.
On the edge. Just as you were saying, Fernando Rodney makes it interesting. That's a couple of tweets at Twitter. Words to that effect.
Whistled foul back out of play. 2-2 now. Well, Edwin Jackson would love to see Rodney find a way to get out of this pickle here. It would be a well-deserved win. But it's out of his hands. 2-2 on Young. Tigers scratched a run across in the 8th inning, a 2-out run. That's something they've done a lot of on this homestand. The 2-out RBIs. Cabrera singling one in. The 2-2 is a chopper hit back up the middle. Polanco flips to second one. Here comes the relay. Out of a double play. Oh, the Tigers turn 2. Rodney gets the save. And the sweep is in order here at Comerica.
Wow.
It was not tailor-made by any stretch of the imagination, but Polanco and Everett hook up on a beauty. 4-6 and a perfect feed for 3. Everett sliding across the bag, got rid of it as quickly as he could. Young is doubled up by half a step, and the Tigers, for the second time this year, sweep the Rangers.